you'll notice we've got some slightly new settings, which is quite nice. I was looking at all the virtual backgrounds that you can get, and then I thought we could just use our own kitchen.
It does look like a virtual background. Actually.
It does, but it's real. And before anybody asks, no, that's not a TV. That's the air filter thing. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do all my usual stuff. I'm going to leave Zoe to talk.
All those.
They're
Cooker hood.
Cooker hood. That's the
one.
Like
thinking air filter thing.
No, Patreon, my dear.
So hello, welcome everybody. Yes, don't forget we have our Patreon online classes. We'll get that out of the way to start with. We have we structured a little bit because we had feedback about the sort of delineation or the clear differentiation between intermediate extra and advanced. So we've kind of simplified it a little bit to make sure that it really is clear what you're getting in each package. And we've actually, I think it's better as a result of it. But if you do have any feedback about the Patreon structure, classes, anything like that, then do drop us a line. We'd be really grateful to hear from you and your thoughts. But don't forget, www.patreon.com/Richard and Zoe. So if you want to book on, it's online classes available as videos that you can, video links that you can connect into as many times as you like, in order to keep practicing and keep dancing.
Keep dancing.
And the baby monitor off.
Yes. Indeed.
Fab.
Cool. So yeah, a number of people have, I know an email was sent out earlier this week about there's a rumour that we might be coming back. Hello everybody, by the way. And I know we've advertised for quite a long time that it probably won't be till next year that we're going to come back. And I still think possibly for rotating mixed classes, that might be the case. However, there is word on the street that fixed couples workshops will be available in hopefully the not too distant future.
Yeah, certainly within, whether it's the next month or next couple of months, obviously is government dependent.
Yes, we will obviously follow government guidelines.
But we're hoping that we might be able to, like I say, when we are given the nod from the government to do so, to run small groups, I'll stress, of socially distanced, fixed couples only workshops for a couple of hours where we are on the stage, everybody is spaced 2 meters apart, there's no food or drink. I think we'll go 2. No food or drink is supplied by us, so it will be bring your own flasks, your own food, anything like that. And there will be no sort of social freestyles. It will only be able to dance with one person, but that could be a person that you're in a social bubble. What's it called? What's that bubble called?
Social bubble. I think that's
no. It's the one where you have one other hat.
Somebody give us the answer online.
Anyway, either you're somebody from your own household or somebody that you are in a protected bubble with.
Yes.
In another household, and I don't know how that's working for people, but yeah.
So that'll bring me on to the poll in a minute, but we are going to send an email out maybe tomorrow, maybe the weekend.
Support bubble. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
I couldn't think of my words.
And it's going to be asking that question about would you be interested and putting your names down on the list.
It's really important for us to be able to sort of manage numbers because we really don't know at all who will be interested, who will be able to do that. So I think what we will have to do is some sort of pre-booking process, and certainly sending out an email to get interest, because we've got to approach the venues, look at finances, see if that is available and possible.
Yep. But I was having a quick look just before we came online, and Northern Ireland, I know we're not in Northern Ireland, but I'm aware of that.
Far, though.
No, but we're not going to travel there to do this. So yeah, they're from early July relaxing a number of the rules, like massage parlours are coming back, spas from the 6th of July, I think it is. So hopefully England, or wherever you may be based, will follow in the not too distant future, and then hopefully that will then lead us on to doing that. So that does lead me on to tonight's poll, and tonight's poll is using that same principle.
It's a serious one for once.
It is a serious one.
It's not a jokey Richard Zoe off.
It's not, no. So yeah, tonight's poll, as soon as it comes up, is if fixed couples workshop, there we go. If you were able to attend a fixed couple workshop that was socially distanced between couples, when would be the earliest you would consider attending. Your options are July, August, September to December, so i.e. the back end of the year, or next year. So that'd be just really interesting to see how everybody's feeling about it, really, I suppose. That'd be really nice.
Tony, why have you got such a horrified face about massage parlours?
What type of massage parlours have you been to before?
That's giving you that kind of
yes.
face. Anyway, we'll move quickly on.
Anyway, so
a couple of people saying they're a bit late to the party. So evening, Richard. Evening, Mary. Yeah, we've just been talking about the possibility of reopening with fixed couple workshops for people who live in the same household or who have a support bubble that they are able to fix with somebody to attend.
Mm-hmm.
We would obviously work with the venues to keep them well ventilated, wiped down door handles before and after and all that sort of thing, but no food and drink and 2 meters apart, markings on the floor and stuff like that. So yeah, and the poll is just getting a bit of a flavour tonight as to whether people would be interested in that or not.
Absolutely. So yeah, do give us your answers. We'll reveal the details of the poll later on. For those that don't know how this works, so this is a Q&A session that we run every 2 weeks. We're going to run it now as well. Just like Boris, we've decided to bring back a little bit.
It's got so much going on. It's like
there is a lot going on. Yes.
Too much to do in 1 week.
Effectively, we're both running 2 jobs at the moment. It's very bizarre. So yes, it's going to be every 2 weeks for these particular questions. But what we'd love questions from you. We have a number of questions, as always, that people have sent us over the last week or so. And what we'd really like is questions that you ask live, so we don't have any preparation for it. Also, the other thing, which is my favourite little segment of this little thing that we do, and that is the socially awkward section. Okay, so socially awkward is where you've had a situation where it's been a socially awkward situation. We had the one that I've mentioned you again, Sarah, for this one, when Sarah said, you smell a fart on the dance floor. Do you mention it? And you know it wasn't you. Is it your partner? Do they think it's you, etc., etc.? How do you deal with it?
I totally ignore things like that. I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, carry on and not ignore.
No. But, so yeah, if you have any scenarios, we've got a few scenarios that people have sent in to us, which I much appreciate. If you do want to contact us, then the best way to contact us is via myself. Send me a PM, or you can send me an email at dancerstroglive.com.
But the most interesting thing I am interested in at the moment is what's everyone wearing, because it's so blinking hot.
Yeah.
I am boiling. Has everybody got their shorts and t-shirts on? That's what I want to know.
I have got shorts on.
You can't post pictures on here. That's the annoying thing.
No. Well, you can actually.
Can you?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not sure we're going to. We're live anyway.
No. Can you? Someone post us a picture. Can you post a picture?
I think you can. You can write a comment. I think that's a GIF.
Post a GIF.
Oh no, stickers or emojis. No, you can't. There we go.
Anyway, afterwards, send us your picture of what you're wearing.
One of my other favourite bits that we do, so please do put your socially awkward situations up. We'll try and answer some of them. One of my favourite bits we do as well is what's the good things that have happened to you in the last week? I was actually thinking about this, and we want what good things have happened to you in the last week. Okay, so we've had. I was thinking about this before we came on air as such, and generally I've had loads of good things that happened.
Have you?
Yeah, loads and loads and loads.
Oh, we found a new good series.
Yeah, we did.
The Sinner.
Snowpiercer.
And Snowpiercer. We are a bit late to the Sinner party, I think, because there's 3 series.
Yeah, we've just finished series 1.
We've only just finished series 1, but they're really, really good if anyone's looking for a new drama.
Indeed. So yeah, good things that have happened to me. I'm going to mention one of them, and this is the level that my life has got to at the moment, in that we were earlier on doing our Tesco online shopping. We got to the point where there was no booking a slot until next Tuesday. I've got my big kids coming around this weekend, and therefore I had the prospect after work tomorrow of going to Tesco for 2 hours and queuing for an hour and all of that type of stuff. And then a slot became available. For tomorrow afternoon.
So now Richard doesn't have to spend 3 hours of his afternoon tomorrow walking around Tesco's. We spent half an hour sorting it out earlier, so that was very good news.
So Mary's asked if that one of your fake backgrounds would have moved into your kitchen. No, this is a real background. Look, no green scheme. This is just our background. So yes, we very fortunately had that. Well, you're going to do those.
This is one of the good things that's happened to me, which is the excitement of children's shoes, because look what I found for Beatrice.
Slightly garish.
Woohoo! They are very glittery, but she's so excited because look, hang on. I'm not sure if I can get this working.
Ooh.
Oh. Can you believe? Okay, first question. How much do you think a child's light up sketcher is out of the sale, normal price? Your answer's on a postcard.
Or on Facebook.
Or on the chat, yeah. Can't believe how expensive they are.
No.
I was lucky I got these in the sale. And they are absolutely hideous, but Beatrice loves them. I think she's going to be sparkly.
I'm looking at Cammie's question. So a question for Rich and Zoe. I'm glad it's for Rich and Zoe because we're the ones on here. If you are able to organise a fixed couple workshop, then I guess you can arrange fixed couple freestyles with limited numbers invited.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. My only caveat to that will be, first of all, policing it. That would be possibly quite tricky to do. Also, at the workshops, it's not to say there wouldn't be some freestyle sections as well, because you'd need to have a break in between kind of if you did 2 hour-long workshops. So that could be a possibility. And it's also an insurance thing as well. So we've also got to be very careful of insurance. So all those lovely things that go on behind the background.
Yeah, so Rock is currently investigating, obviously, public liability insurance and all that sort of thing.
During this time.
We want to be really careful as well. You know,
Absolutely.
we don't want to rush back into something that isn't appropriate. So whilst we are all desperate to dance, we want to do so in a, socially responsible way. Just answering the question then, £50. Can you believe that these blinking little pair of mini shoes are £50?
Skechers.
I luckily got them for 19, so 19, not 90. So that was a very excited moment for me. Woo-hoo. And for Beatrice, who is now running, jumping everywhere with sparkly feet.
Yeah. What was the other good things? Oh, I've relayed the flooring in my shed.
Yeah.
And refelted it. That was a fun job
behind
to do.
Richard, we did our new splashback.
Ooh.
Behind the cooker hob there.
It's finally open again.
Aubergine splashback arrived because the shop shut. We ordered it. We're about to pick it up into lockdown.
Yeah.
Really annoying.
I do have a bad thing that's happened to me this week though. We were doing some filming for our Patreon, and unfortunately, I dropped my Mac off the side. Not the one that we're on now. I have the pleasure of having 2, and 20% of the screen is now no longer visible. So we're having to claim against insurance. Although we were on the phone to the insurance company for an hour earlier, and then the line just went dead. But never mind. Anyway, we are going to move on with the situation that we've got, which is...
So tell us about your lovely things, though. We'd like to hear about what lovely things you've been up to.
Mary says, can I have the shoes when B has finished with them? They look about my size.
Yeah, they are a 9.5. Child's 9.5.
Child's 9.5, not
adult.
9.5. Thank you, Cam. Yes, the kitchen. We're very pleased with the kitchen, so he's adapted it, which is nice. Right, so this is socially awkward then. We're going to move on to this bit. So this is all about social experiences you have experienced at dancing or at any other situation. Zoe is generally very good at social situations.
No,
I have a blunt stick. That's how I work. I live in a very black and white world. So therefore, the way in which we would possibly both react to something can be quite different sometimes, as people have known from times when I've been in a social situation and they've gone, it's okay, it's just Richard. It took me a while to figure out what they were talking about. So we're going to try and start off. So this is generally these are ones that people have sent in. So thank you very much if you have sent any of these in. If you do have any, please do put them live. I would love that love you to have some live. Go on.
Jen's cookies sound amazing. That's the other bad thing that's happened to me. I think I've put on about £20. Chocolate cherry
Obviously,
cookies.
I can say nothing at this point.
Because you've also put it on.
Not £20.
But Jen, where's our cookie?
Jen lives around the corner.
I know. I'm just joking, by the way.
There's a question from Steve, actually, just very quickly. Away from dancing, who were your idols when you were growing up, e.g. pop stars, film, TV stars, sports stars, etc.?
Oh.
I can reveal, there's often bits, they call it behind the curtain, don't they? And that is that my middle name is named after a pop star. So yeah, my middle name is...
Not because you liked them.
Well, oh, hello. I quite liked, it's professional, I quite liked them because my parents grew up and we listened to all his music and such. And my father still goes to see him.
Sorry, I'll just turn my phone
If
off.
you can, that'd be great. So yeah, my middle name is Leo, and I was named after Leo Sayer from 1974, which is many years before I was born, but that's when he was very popular. So
It's
so,
Jen
It's
sending
Jen.
us cookie pictures.
she is sending us cookie pictures. You're going to try and make that large, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know how though.
No, let's move on. So yeah, so that's so he was one of the idols, I suppose. But this is another sad fact about me, but I was an 80s child, and in the mid 80s, I was a member of the Nick Kershaw fan club. That is about as sad a thing as it can be. You're probably thinking, who is Nick Kershaw, aren't you?
Is that my work phone?
That's your work phone.
Sorry, I've got phones going off like crazy here.
Here
we go, turn them off.
Um,
Who was I a fan club of? I used to like Shakin' Stevens when I was really young, especially Merry Christmas Everyone. That was my first, and then MC Hammer. And then I got worse, Bananarama, Nana Cherry, and then I sort of went up the credibility.
To what?
Madonna, Immaculate Collection.
Yeah. You didn't listen to her own actual albums and just the greatest
And
hits.
UB40. I used to be really into UB40.
Yeah.
Red.
Oh, don't start us singing.
wine.
Please, somebody ask another question. Right, we're going to go back to the we're going to go back to our socially awkward situations. And again, we'd love you to answer these questions. We'll answer them as much as we can. But if you have any other ways that you would deal with it, that would be great. So, so yeah, this is the first socially awkward question that came in. So you go into a clothes shop, you see a coat that you like, and you try it on. You're looking in the mirror, and then somebody asks you, "Why have you got my coat on?" And it just happens to be another customer's coat. How would you react to that, Mrs. B?
I just laugh. I don't know what much else you can do. Is you know, oh, I'm ever so sorry. It's a very nice coat. Where did you get it from?
Obviously not wearing coats at the moment, but
No.
but yeah, I think I'd run out the shop.
With it on?
Well, why not? They can't. It's probably got that. No, it probably wouldn't have the wallet in it, but but yeah.
Would that make you run more
Well,
or less?
listen, it's not going to have a tag on it.
But
So
why would you want it?
it's a nice coat.
It's their coat.
It's not now. Possession is 9 cents of the law, is it not? So, yeah.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm joking about that. Ultravox, people are loving Leo Sayer. Yeah, my father.
Do you know what? I don't even know what he sings.
Do you not?
Oh no, we don't need a demonstration.
We do.
Time.
We do.
Why did I open my mouth?
Oh, I've got another good thing that happened as well.
Not too loud. Bees in bed.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Let me get to the chorus.
But do you like this song?
That was one of his
I like that song.
least favourite ones.
Oh,
Hang on a sec. Let me see.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I must say, by the way, Rose, well done with your scones. That you made great scones this time round. Good effort.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to happen to you this week.
Check the pockets for wallets. I agree. I'm just going to get to Leo Sayer. Do. Where is it?
Perry Home.
Oh, here we go.
Ultravox. Don't even know what that is. Oh wow, he's got a great hairstyle, Leo, isn't he?
Yeah. He had a very high voice. I'm sure it's slightly deeper now. Yes. Anyway, enough of
Oh,
that.
there we go. Maybe I do know him after all.
Maybe you do know good old Leo.
Who is
after all.
Jethro
Jethro Tull?
Tull?
I know the name. I don't know anything.
I was waiting for him to say something really deep and meaningful there. Cammy, you have to explain.
Yeah.
Who is Jethro Tull?
Remind
I'm
us of
sorry.
Jethro Tull. We're going to do another socially awkward one, and this is one which I had the pleasure of happening to me not that long ago. So this is actually one of my socially awkward situations. Okay, so you are attending a large group of people. So I did this. I went to the Neild Hall, and it was a business breakfast meeting. Okay, I walked in there. I didn't know anyone. I looked around the hall, and there were loads and loads of small groups, some groups of 2, which is a group theoretically, okay, and up to kind of about a group of 5 there or thereabouts. And I walked all around, and I thought I'd try and find somebody that looks like they can talk, or that I feel like I can talk to them. Bear in mind, I didn't know anybody. It's nothing worse than standing by yourself. I went up to a group and I realized as I walked up to the group, there was no way in. I was kind of stuck on the outside of the group, but the person that was talking had their back to me and I couldn't quite force my way in. So I just stood there for ages.
See,
How
we've
do you-
actually
how do you
had
do
some
it then?
training at work not to
Right.
recruit. There's different types of groups. So there's like open twos and open threes where their body language and their group are open, and they're the groups you go up to. You don't go up to a closed group because
Right.
they don't want to be interrupted.
Okay.
So they were probably like, who's this weirdo trying to nestle in on our private conversation?
I am quite weird. I'll give you that.
So the advice on that one is don't go up to a closed group.
Okay. But what if
Learn
they're all
that one.
closed? Do you
They
then
won't,
stand
all,
by?
they won't all be closed.
Do you then stand by yourself,
They won't all be closed, not all of the time.
having a
people
drink of
shift.
water? I don't know these things.
They
you
won't.
see.
They won't all be closed.
No. Well, there we go.
Another musician, Cammy said, Jethro Tull,
He was a musician.
rock band, and a flute player.
You don't get enough of those in dancing these
That's a
days.
different combo, rock and flute. I'll have to look him up after, Cammy.
Right, next question then. So that's socially awkward. If you have any other further socially awkward ones, then we'd love to hear about them.
Or give us your examples of how
Absolutely.
you dealt with those.
Our Gold Diggers nightclub in Chippenham, where I started dancing many, many years ago. Yeah. It's been knocked down, now it's flats. Right, so a question has come up. Are we going to do another virtual tea dance? We did a virtual tea dance at the beginning of June, wasn't it? June the 7th, I think it was. And we had a number of people asking, are we going to do another one? And the answer is yes, I think we are. We're planning on it. Be in another few weeks' time, maybe a month's time, something like that. Maybe the beginning of August, we'll sort out the dates. And yeah,
You
we'll
need to
see.
speak to Kevin and Dot.
Speak to Kevin and Dot, or see if anybody else wants to do anything to it as well. So
Yeah.
we could always mix it up. So yeah, if you would like another tea dance, then I'm sure we can do that before we can get back to proper dancing, which hopefully won't be too distant. I'm going to have a quick look at the poll while I'm on it. Oh, it's quite interesting.
Wow. We'll
We're-
give you some more
yeah.
information on that in a little while.
So just very quickly, for those just joining us, this is the question and answer session. If you do have any questions, please do fire them in the messenger box that you can see, and we will then try and answer the questions. We're now onto the question section of this. So questions from the public, as they say. So yeah, if you do have any questions, please do post them. We'll try and answer them as much as we possibly can. Right, next question then. What do you find interesting about teaching dance to others? What do you
I
like?
don't really find it interesting. I think I get pleasure out of helping people
Okay.
grow.
Yeah.
I don't think is it interesting? No, you're more interested in it
Yeah.
than me, to be fair. But then
I-
you do it full time. I don't. I get pleasure out of helping people and doing it because I love dance and I love to share my knowledge and my love of dance with other people. But you really enjoy breaking it down
I
to a
love
different
studying
level.
it to the nth degree. Yeah, absolutely. I say for the last 5 years or so, I've studied the follow part more than I have the lead part, and trying to work out exactly what people do and why they do it and how they do
Still
it.
haven't mastered it though.
I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress.
Joking.
It's always going to be, but yeah, just trying, and that's obviously helped my lead in regards to then trying to work out what the follow needs and how much they need, how little they need, and all of that type of stuff. And so yeah, I really enjoy finding it interesting, breaking it down, why people do certain things at certain times. So yeah, that for me has been very interesting. And certainly with the big mirrors that we have in the studio, I can watch them doing it, and also obviously I watch myself dancing, and then I kind of get some confidence or not confidence depending on how good or bad it's looking at the time. So yeah, that's always good for me. Right, next question then. What has been the biggest challenge in your life? I think I know one of the things that was very challenging in your life.
Meeting you.
Yeah. Now, I remember you
Well
talking about the fact that when you first went to Japan, you thought you could speak Japanese, and then you got off the local Japanese system, and then everybody was talking Japanese, and you couldn't understand a word they were saying.
No, I remember passing the phone around. There was 2 or 3 of us, and we all had to go at listening to what they were trying to say. Couldn't understand a word they were saying. That was after studying it for just a year, so that was quite disheartening, I guess. But no, I would say my biggest challenge was probably a personal one, which was breastfeeding. That was a disaster for me and Beatrice. A challenge that I didn't conquer very well.
No, it was difficult.
So that was challenging for a whole number of reasons.
Yeah.
But in terms of other challenges, I'll keep thinking. What about you?
What about me? Biggest challenge? Parenthood.
Oh God, yeah. Beatrice is challenging every day.
Yeah, bringing up teenagers at the moment as well. That's challenging. Yeah, it'd be nice if they kind of went from that period of maybe 10, where they still want to be around you, to 20, when you can go out with them again. That'd be quite nice. So
yeah. Children are definitely bring the biggest challenges, I would say.
Oh, Tony's got a good question. Apart from him, valid point. Who is the most famous person you have danced with properly, not dad dancing or mum dancing, have you danced with? I can answer this one. I've got a good answer for this one. So back in the day when I used to be young, many, many years ago, I used to be part of the Ciroc advertising crew. So I was based relatively close to London. We had an advertising crew where we used to go around and perform at events, and they selected, guessing, younger people than I am now, and one of the events we went to was it was a jewelry launch, and Sam Fox was there, and I danced with her.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be a dancer.
No,
I was trying to think of.
So yeah, I danced with Sam
famous
Fox.
dancers.
And the main thing I was thinking about is she is tiny. She really was, and I'm not the tallest of people.
She's tiny that way, but not that way.
What way, darling?
That way.
So yeah, Sam Fox is probably the most famous person I've danced with. Obviously, we have the lovely Michael Edwards that comes along as well. He's very famous. Who's that?
Who's that? I have danced with Vincent Simone from Strictly.
And he's tiny as well.
He was tiny. Yeah, basically came up to my chest, and then I got my hand stuck in his shirt and ripped his shirt open, which was really embarrassing. He said, "Oh, you are trying to undress me." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm just trying to keep my feet from standing on you and from me looking like a complete tit." But that was awkward.
Yeah.
And Jason Colosino, unfortunately, before he passed away.
So he was a West Coast Swing teaching
West
dancer.
Coast Swing workshop with him, with Val and David in London. Many moons ago. Yeah. He was a lovely man and dancer.
Indeed, he was. Not that I ever got to see him, but he seemed lovely. He always does the bits of one of his famous moves. You should have a look at it. It's Honky Tonk Women is one of his famous videos on YouTube. And he has his signature move, which is where he kind of holds onto the lady a little bit and then does the splits down and then back up again.
He's a very lovely dancer.
Yeah. So Mary's danced with Danny John Jules. We're at a wedding and she was pretty trolleyed. We used to chat about dance a lot. So yeah.
So I think it was at a Ciroc. I think Vincent and Flavia came to Southport.
Yeah.
At Ciroc Southport, actually, a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was in the blues, the bar at Southport.
No. And Rob put, I'm guessing this is relating to me dancing with Sam Fox. I didn't have to worry about the 2 meter rule then. Is that what he's saying?
I don't know.
No, maybe not. Maybe I'm misreading that. But
you would have, because you wouldn't have been able to get closer than 2 meters anyway.
I think that's kind of where I was going with that.
Right, but I don't know if that's what you mean.
Straight over the head, that one, wasn't it? But there we go.
Shall we move on?
Do you ever, Susan Chandler, thank you for the question. Do you ever get nervous of dancing with different people? I mean, it's always interesting for us when we're dancing with other teachers, because when you dance with other teachers, obviously you're both at a very similar level. So therefore you're almost analysing, are you good enough lead? Are you a good enough follow? So yeah.
The only place I've got really, really nervous before was the West Coast Swing event. But I think it's more about the approachability of people rather than, I don't know. There was a lot of really good dancers. Maybe it's because I was not as experienced in it. I felt, I think it said more about me and my level of experience than it did about anybody else, probably.
Yeah.
So, don't know.
Yeah, getting nervous. I suppose when you're first starting out, if we look at a beginner being at this level here, when you're first starting out, everybody is above you. So therefore, you're going to feel quite nervous dancing with everybody that's there. Obviously, as you get to being a teacher level, that brings you up to the kind of the top end of the level. So therefore, everybody that you're dancing with ability-wise, theoretically, should be underneath where you are, because otherwise, why would you be a teacher? So the people that are above you would be fewer and
Other
further
teachers,
between other
professionals,
teachers. Yeah,
or other good dancers. They might not be teachers.
yeah. I'm trying to think who I get nervous. I generally get nervous sometimes dancing with Mrs. B. I do.
You get nervous dancing with your own wife.
I do, yeah, because I want to, the person that you're, thank you, the person that you're married to, you want to impress the most, don't you? So,
Aww,
yeah, so sometimes if I'm trying to, dance well, then yeah, I get a bit nervous and a bit tense sometimes and throw her around. Anyway.
Hello, Sheila from Carnoustie.
Carnoustie.
Is that Scotland?
Scotland?
I've never been there.
That's my Scottish accent.
Well, I've been to Scotland, but not Carnoustie. Where is that?
Moving on. North. I don't know.
Hello, Sheila. Anyway,
yes,
nice to hear from
absolutely.
you. Hope all is well up there in Bonnie, Scotland. Is Scotland Bonnie? Is that what they say?
I believe Carnoustie is in Scotland. I'm now questioning my own
your geography.
Just very quickly again, for those that haven't seen us before, this is a Q&A session. So if you do want to ask any questions, we love to have live questions. We have a number of questions always lined up, but the live ones are the ones that we really, really love to answer. So, so yeah, if you can do that. It is in Scotland. Thank you, Cami. Near Dundee.
Near Dundee.
There we go. That
I'd
doesn't
like to
help
even
us
say my geography is so bad. I'm not even. Let's move on from my geography. But welcome. Hope you are all well up there.
Should we give an update on the poll?
Yes, let's do it. So we asked if you were able to attend a fixed couple workshop that was socially distanced in the near future. What was the earliest time you would consider attending? So we've got July, August, September or December or next year. So it's looking like July is winning by quite a considerable amount at the moment.
So as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah, we've got some people who are a bit more reticent, only a handful splattering thinking about next year. But certainly July and August is by far the biggest winner.
When we say by far, it's about 60% so far saying they would consider dancing.
Coming back in July and August with fixed couples. So that's interesting.
Yes, because we don't want to take any risks. Or as minimal risks that you possibly can. So,
absolutely.
So yeah, it's very interesting. Keep voting though. It would be quite nice to see. Good, we are getting a full geography lesson now.
Yeah, it's just as well because I have no idea.
So near Dundee in Scotland, east coast between Aberdeen and Edinburgh.
I've been to Edinburgh. I've not been to Aberdeen.
Here's an interesting fact about Edinburgh, and that is it is further west than Bristol in the UK, or just further west on the lines.
Okay, how did you know that?
There was a question that came up once, which is further west, Edinburgh or Bristol? And Edinburgh is, I believe.
I'd like to go to Scotland a bit more. I'd like to do the Edinburgh Fringe when Beatrice is a bit older.
That would be good. Right, next question then. So
it's on our bucket list.
It is on
our bucket list question.
You want to do the bucket list question? Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a number of questions that always sit at the bottom that we never get round to because everybody asks loads of questions. So, so what's on your bucket list is one of the questions.
Well, yeah, because now lots of my bucket list for travelling, and I guess as soon as we're able to travel, I'm going to do more of it because if something like this happens again, I don't want to be thinking, oh, I should have gone when I could have.
Should, would have, could have.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. So, oh my goodness, so many places. India, I'd love to do a trip around India. I have no idea where to go or what to do, but I would love to because it's just a country we've never been to.
Yep.
You?
Yeah, Australia would be definitely another place to and do snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh my God.
I've done some snorkeling in the Maldives. I had one of the scariest moments in the Maldives ever when obviously the Maldives are on a coral reef themselves, and what the boat did is it took us out, and you had to go past, I think it was called the wall or something like that, but it took us out, and then you had to swim back over the wall, and effectively you looked down, and it was just the ocean. And then there was the wall, and then it went onto the coral reef, and therefore you could swim around and all of that. And I disturbed a shark. But yeah, I swam
then
down.
were we in the Caribbean when you disturbed a stingray?
I did, yeah.
I'm never going in the sea with you. They seem to attract dangerous animals.
Me? No. not too bad.
So
So
I
yeah,
want to go on safari again with Beatrice because she loves animals, and I think she is of an age that she would love to go on safari.
yep. Yes, we did safari for our honeymoon in Tanzania, which was
Oh,
amazing.
it's lovely. And my sister, well, she's not at the moment, she's back in the UK because of the wonderful coronavirus, but she was living out there. So it'd be really great to go and visit and go on safari.
So yeah, bucket list. What's on your
What's on
bucket
your
list? Yes. So yeah, so Steve's saying, as a lot of us have not danced for some time now, what would be your strategy to start with when we get back to normality? You know, it's a question I was actually thinking about myself earlier on. It's kind of like, what's your biggest fear when you go back to dancing? I know personally my biggest fear when I go back to dancing is needing to buy an entirely new wardrobe because none of the clothes fit that I wore before. So yeah, that's my biggest fear, is looking like a chunky man. I'm sure I can lose some weight fairly quickly.
Well, I think we'll all be in it together, won't we? That's the thing.
We will, a little bit. So yeah.
I thought I had a little person.
Did you?
I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did. No, I don't think so. Do you want to
I
go and
just heard
check?
creaking. I'm just going to get checked.
You go and check, because I thought I saw something as well. Could be a ghost. Who knows? So yeah, what will be our plan? Definitely starting off with the Fixed Couples workshops. I think that's a fairly given that is the way in which we're going to go. Whether that starts in July, August, September, you know, who knows? Depends on second waves and all of that type of stuff. Relating to getting back to some sort of normality, yeah, certainly when we have a break at Christmas, so we normally have a 2-week break at Christmas, what I always try and do the first week back is make sure all of the routines are relatively straightforward routines. There's nothing worse on your first night getting back after a 2-week break of having a rock hard move that you try and do and fail, and therefore you lose confidence. After having, which realistically is going to be maybe a 5, maybe even a 6-month break, yeah, everybody needs to start at beginners again. That's for sure. And actually do the beginner stuff. Not saying we won't do intermediate classes, of course we will, but you know, keeping it relatively simple just to kind of get everybody's confidence going again. I know my golf coach, when I go and play golf, he says when you're first starting off, don't try and do the hardest shots to start with. You know, put the ball on a tee to make sure you've got clean.
We need to warm ourselves up.
Give you some confidence to start off with again. Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan.
It must have been a ghost because she's fast asleep.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so Susan, I know you got kicked out of Florida. That was after 3 days.
Bless you, what a shame. Hope you've been able to get some compensation on that.
Yeah. So my dad says I could go and see my second cousins in Australia.
I've got a family in Australia as well.
They're very close to us. Very close. I couldn't even tell you the names. But yeah.
South America, Cuba. Yeah, I'd love to do that
I've been to Cuba. Amazing place.
Now you're doing a trip around New Zealand dancing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what would be really nice, is if you go to Australia and New Zealand, you'll be able to find a dance night.
What we could do is we could go do it as a working holiday, you see, and we could guest teach everywhere, and that would help pay for it.
We could just go incognito and then bust our moves out on the dance floor.
Bust our moves out? Really? Have you just used that phrase?
Yeah. Mind you, I desperately need a haircut. I hate doing these because I can just see how dreadful my hair looks.
Yeah. Yes, there is some dancing in New Zealand. I know Sarah Patton, who's just passed as a UK Sarok teacher. She was teaching out there in New Zealand. She was my old open dance partner back in the day. So yeah, she's just come back from New Zealand, and I know she was teaching out there as well. So
what was the dancing like in Auckland and Christchurch? Was that from Jen? Did you go out there, Jen, and dance? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Melbourne has a big modern jive scene. I know the.
Was it really different to the UK jive scene?
The principles that I believe they work on is that you have to not quite pass an exam, but you have to be approved of by the teacher before you move up to an intermediate level, or I think they have advanced levels as well.
Good.
So
yeah, I've heard about that. That's quite good.
So yeah, maybe we should do that for everybody. We can decide where you're going to be. Yeah, badge. Yeah, we could put badges on people.
That would be awful. Could you imagine?
Can't dance. Needs to come more to classes. Freestyle only because I think that's really good. Lovely. Right.
So yeah. Any other bucket list ideas?
Yeah, Milonga started in Germany, fixed partners only. I think fixed partners is the way it's going to be. Remember, that can be in your own support bubble, which I think will increase as time goes on. Certainly private lessons for myself as well. I think that's not too far away again, certainly for fixed couples. One-to-one lessons I think might be a bit further away, but yeah, certainly for obviously when it goes down to 1 meter, then I can kind of hopefully get past that once we get to that point where it's safe from the government's perspective to do it. Lovely.
Yeah, but certainly teaching fixed couples and fixed couple workshops should be probably the first thing we'll start with and take it steady. We don't want to have a massive outbreak
No,
on our hands.
no, that's not the plan. Right, next question then coming up. What is the hottest place you have ever danced in? So, what's the hottest place you have ever danced in?
Well, the Caribbean was pretty hot.
This was on a Ciroc cruise, by
We
the
were on
way.
the cruise ship. That was boiling in the evening. We were dancing on top of the boat. There was a nice breeze though from the ship moving.
Yeah.
But when we danced on land, that was boiling. When we went to that steel
God, yeah.
drum, whew, that was melt central.
I think the hottest one used to do the dance holidays. I know that we have Medfest every year. We used to do about 5 different dance holidays a year, and I used to do the Barcelona one. Did it every year for about 3 or 4 years. And there was one year it's about 40 degrees, and I was having 4 showers a day. The studio we were using to do the workshops in, it was air conditioned. I went in shorts and t-shirt, and they still came out completely saturated. That was beyond hot.
It's been really uncomfortable.
Yeah. So yeah, where's the hottest place that you've danced in? Camber upstairs.
Oh,
That
was
can
like
be, yeah.
sweat pit.
In fact, Southport, I remember that opening the doors from the pub. Just remember opening the doors, feeling the heat, and closing the doors.
Oh,
And they went outside again. So
Antigua.
yeah, back home in Iran, that's for Cami, over
Oh my
35
God,
degrees
Cami.
centigrade.
I don't know how you danced in that.
No, it's hot. Yeah. So yeah, would we be dancing today?
Well, it's quite nice out there now, though. If you
Yeah.
had a nice decked area, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Is if you can come back to an outside space at some point. But our
Yeah.
weather is so rubbish that
Yeah.
it'd be really tricky to do.
Kington Langley, yes. Sometimes, yeah, we do try and keep it as cool as we can, but it's not always easy. That's in Chippenham. So Sarah says, today I saw a clip of Shirley Ballas sending a message to the culture minister trying to get him to allow dance schools to open up ASAP.
I saw that. She was sort of doing that on the basis that a lot of the drilling of ballroom classes are done individually. So that she said that she could open up her dance classes to have lessons, because a lot of the drills, the exercises, the practicing are solo dancing. So she was trying to get them to do it the bit I saw anyway, was taking that angle.
But certainly if you're in a fixed couple or your own support bubble, remember you can make that choice. It would be your choice, not our choice, of course, who you dance with. And if it's just 2 at a time, then obviously it doesn't necessarily have to be from your own household, and that's entirely up to yourselves. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing at some of the.
Laughing at Lorraine trying to escape a sand scorpion. My God, that sounds terrifying. Can they kill you? I thought scorpions were like really poisonous.
Yeah, I'm guessing they are, but they still eat them on I'm a Celebrity.
Oh, they must have treated them right, or cut the poison out.
Well done to everyone who's been doing press ups, by the way. I do feel quite bad that I think I kind of have started off quite a lot of pyramids on that. So, but it is all about obviously displaying the message of PTSD. So yeah, do that very well. Right.
And Beatrice was learning to do press ups.
She was, bless her cotton socks. But, I have to say, I haven't done a press up since, and it shows a little bit. I was looking, thinking, need to get back on the press ups again.
Yeah,
there we go.
Let's do another 25 weird places.
Tony says, I don't have a support bubble. Can he sit in the corner and watch? That just sounds spooky.
I thought you had your cat, Tony.
Oh, you could dance with your cat. Move on. Right.
I don't know, I kept expecting the government to bring out as well the whole, you can choose 5 people to become your bubble that you can see and hug and touch. That sounds wrong. Sounds like you're going to have a group fest somewhere. But I thought at some point they're going to say, actually, now you can have a bubble of people that you can have closer contact with.
I think it's coming.
So maybe that's the next stage. So maybe first off, it's just in single households or people who are support bubbles. Yeah. That type of thing. But after that, maybe it will widen gradually.
And remember, it's obviously being done for our safety to a large degree. So yeah. Right. Let's do the poll result then. So the
Dun,
poll
dun,
is, if you were
dun.
able to attend a fixed
Have you
couple
clicked it?
workshop that was socially distanced between couples, when would be the earliest you would consider attending? The options were July, August, September to December, or next year. And the results are
Dun,
now.
dun, dun. So if you add up August and July together, that takes up 62% of people would be prepared to come back now.
Did you have to work that out on a piece of paper?
No,
No.
I'm just scribbling, I'm just doodling. But how many of those people can come back? How many of those people actually live with somebody or have
Or
somebody
are
in
willing
a
to do a
support bubble?
support bubble? That's, yeah. And
Yeah,
these
but you have to live
questions,
on your own to be in a support bubble, don't you?
there are lots of people that live by themselves.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. So yeah, we will be sending out an email in the next few days just to kind of ask a poll. We'll probably do a Survey Monkey and so get people's response on that. And it will be done on a first come, first served basis. Because obviously it's going to be very limited numbers for the venues that we could hire. We have been investigating with venues about the possibility of it. So
yeah, Kington Langley is looking like a good
definitely a possibility.
solution. So we might be able to do something there.
Yeah. So Sarah put she only voted July because last week wasn't an option.
Oh, and Sarah, you need to get working on the old hubby. Not that he's old, but you know what I mean. Get him coming because then you can dance.
Or somebody else in a support bubble, I suppose, that you are willing to be with.
Yeah.
But that would be down to your choice again. We are not
Yeah.
encouraging that in any way,
No.
shape, or form. But you can make your own choices. So yeah,
Anyway, it has been lovely. We could keep going all night,
we could.
but we're not going to.
We are not going to. As always, we really do thank everybody for watching this, having a conversation with us. It keeps us going, if I'm honest. And I do feel like there is hope on the horizon now.
Yeah, let's get dancing again. Let's get quickly onto Patreon. Let's get some classes going. Get back into dancing if you can, if you're at home alone.
Yeah, I think, and just the last bit, I'm not saying this to, I am saying this to plug Patreon. So for those that don't know what Patreon is, we're doing online classes. You can sign up for it. It costs as little as £10 a month plus VAT. That's still there, unfortunately. You know, for some intermediate classes, there's different packages on there giving you advanced moves, speciality moves, and that type of stuff. You sign up now, you have access to all of the stuff that we've done before in the particular tier that you are doing. My best tip for you is sign up now, start practicing, because if we start again in, you know, let's say end of July, then that gives you a month's worth of practice with somebody. You could get that support bubble going. You could do whatever you want to do. And actually you could start practicing again and not feel quite so rusty when you very first start again. So it would be nothing worse than when you first start thinking, I haven't even danced for 6 months. So yeah, that's my suggestion. So it's patreon.com/Richard and Zoe. So that would be good.
Come join the party.
Yeah, do indeed. For now, we are going to bid our fond farewell. We're back in 2 weeks' time again, so do come along and see us then. If you have any questions, please do PM me or send me an email at dance@soroglive.com. And we will be back to dancing soon. Hopefully in 2 weeks' time, we'll be able to give you much more concrete information. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? So yes, we really do appreciate everybody watching. We're going to say goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Sorry,
Goodbye.
I'm fiddling.
You are fiddling
liking.
away, I know. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.
See you later, people.